My name's Harry Minns, and I live in CAISTOR. I was able seaman, eventually. I was on B gun, which is the gun in the foredeck of the ship, and also to be standby at the depth charges when I was on duty. Normally, that was one of my jobs I used to do. Mainly, it was learning seamanship, which included knots and splices. We also learned to march and fire guns, how to fire rifles, and get smart generally. And also we had a swimming test to make sure that we could swim, and we had to go in those clothes that I showed you, the duck suit they call them. These were the tropical suits, which were canvas, thick canvas, trousers and tunic at the top. The Atlantic Star was the only medal that I actually got for the Navy. The other medals were for victory, and I've forgotten what the others are now, but there were 4 of them altogether. You used to have hammocks, and you had to be able to sling your own hammock, but you used to have blokes either side of you in your hammocks, so that was both in the barracks and on the ship. They were kept cosy, you see.
What was the most dangerous thing you did?
Swimming off the sea, swimming off Lumley Beach when I was in Freetown, Sierra Leone. We were taken there from our barracks where we were working, where we I was on the exchange. I was in charge of a telephone exchange at the bottom of the in the room below the signals department, because Freetown was the most important place for convoy ships coming in when they were on convoy. They used to come from Great Britain out to Freetown, then go on to Cape Town. They had to go right the way round the coast of Africa, and then from Durban or Cape Town right the way up to the Red Sea, and there they used to land. We were in one of the biggest convoys, and in our convoy, it was so important, there were 53 guarding around these liners. There was the Nelson, the Rodney, and the Argus was an aircraft carrier in the centre of the convoy. And actually, I learned after the war, when I knew, come on, the name's gone, oh dear. Charlie Hanneth. Charlie Hanneth was actually on one of those ships going to fight in North Africa. And he said, he looked across and he thought, oh, the Nelson's there, we shall be all right. And you were driving it, he said. Which was a bit of a joke to us. We sank 2.5 U-boats. I think I told you that before, didn't I?
Yeah, we need it.
Yes, yes. Yes, we sank 2 by ourselves, and the half one I'm speaking about was shared with another ship. They helped us to sink it. And that was with hedgehogs and depth charges. The hedgehogs were fired like bombs from the bows of the ship. They're special I don't know what they'd call them. Anyway, they exploded and threw them out in a heart shape. And they wouldn't explode unless they hit something. So we knew we'd got our U-boat because there was an explosion, so we knew we'd got him, and of course you get the rubbish that came up from there. So we knew we'd sunk him.
Did you enjoy your time in the Royal Navy?
Most of the time, yes, yes. You made good friends. You soon made good friends, both when I was out in the barracks in Africa and on board ship. You soon got to know you soon made friends.
Are you still in contact with any of the friends you made?
I think most of them have gone. No.
That's all I've got.
Is that? I do recall being on duty at aft ship. We were in harbour and we were given orders to go out to sea, and our skipper was in a bit of a rush, and I was on duty. As I say, I was shouting from the quarterdeck that we were going to ram this ship in the harbour because he was going astern, and we hit it, and I thought the depth charges would probably go off, but they didn't, of course. They've got to be primed and so on. But that was a bit of a shaker. I thought I was going to go, you know, and yet it didn't bother me. I knew I was going to die, but I had no worry at all about it. No. We were going to convoy the SS Rimutaka, you see, I can still remember it, because we were escorting the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester through the Bay of Biscay. We were going to take them to Gibraltar. Then they were going to go through the Med, because we'd already mastered the Med. You know, the Germans predominated during the war, most of the war, but by that time, it was towards the end of the war, they were going out to be Governor General in Australia. And because we sank at this U-boat in the Bay of Biscay, as I say, on our own, the skipper and the Aztecs officer and the rating, who was working the Aztecs at the time, they got medals. All we got was a double ration of rum. We spliced the main brace, which was what we did each time we sank a U-boat. That was the present you got for being good lads. After we'd finished in Londonderry, I saw the surrender of the U-boats. The officers brought their ships, their U-boats in and tied them alongside, you know, and I saw them being marched off to go to a prisoner of war camp, the officers from the U-boats. They didn't look very happy. That was in Londonderry. But after that, I was sent down, with the ship was decommissioned, I sent down back to Chatham Barracks, that was my barracks when I was in this country. And I was given leave on the day of VJ Day. So I got the train up to London, and I was outside Buckingham Palace and saw the King and Queen and the present Queen and her sister on the balcony, together with Winston Churchill for the VJ celebrations. As you could say, there was crowds there, and it was absolutely riotous. It was wonderful. I can't remember much else.